ladies and gentlemen, my name's Kevin and welcome to my channel, The Art of Horror. Today's piece was suggested by Luke Top Secret. Luke wanted to know if I could draw him a picture of Cthulhu. Luke is a fellow YouTuber, and as he did a really fantastic and amazing shout out to me, I couldn't help but oblige. Luke does some gameplay videos, but he also does little funny comedy sketch style videos as well. The video he did on my channel was incredibly funny, and I just want to say a big thanks to Luke for taking that on, and how much I loved his farcical look at my channel as he donned a pair of gloves and decided to do a piece of artwork inspired by my channel all on his own. And I found this video extremely entertaining and funny. I especially wanted to do this piece as I am very interested in learning and finding out who or what Cthulhu is. I have read a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft, and it's incredible how far ahead of his time this author was. And it's also incredible how many works of film and fiction he has inspired since, with some of my favourites including In the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill, The Thing, and of course the Alien series. His tales of unearthly alien beings that the human mind is unable to comprehend are some of the best works of fiction I've actually ever read. The Shadow over Innsmouth is one of my personal favourite H.P. Lovecraft stories. But I digress. Who or what exactly is Cthulhu? According to the H.P. Lovecraft wiki, Cthulhu is a great old one of great power that lies in a death-like slumber beneath the Pacific Ocean in his sunken city of R'lyeh. He remains a dominant presence in the eldritch dealings on our world. Many of you will know this line from the Call of Cthulhu. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons even death may die. The first time I saw this was on an Iron Maiden poster for Live After Death. Reading this led me to a library and led me to starting to read many of his works when I was very young. Here is another quote from the Call of Cthulhu on the nature of the Old Ones. They were not composed altogether of flesh and blood. They had shape, but that shape was not made of matter. When the stars were right, they could plunge from world to world through the sky, but when the stars were wrong, they could not live. But although they no longer lived, they would never really die. They all lay in stone houses in the great city of R'lyeh, preserved by the spells of mighty Cthulhu for a glorious resurrection when the stars and the earth might once more be ready for them. In The Call of Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft describes a statue of Cthulhu as a monster of vaguely anthropoid outline, but with an octopus-like head whose face was a mass of feelers, a scaly, rubbery-looking body, prodigious claws on hind and forefeet, and long, narrow wings behind. Cthulhu has been described in appearance as resembling an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature, hundreds of meters tall, with webbed human-looking arms and legs, and a pair of rudimentary wings on its back. Cthulhu's head is depicted as similar to the entirety of a gigantic octopus, with an unknown number of tentacles surrounding its supposed mouth. Cthulhu possibly could have the ability to make people lose their minds by visual contact with the entity. The short story that first mentions Cthulhu, The Call of Cthulhu, was published in Weird Tales in 1928 and established the character as a malevolent entity, hibernating within R'lyeh, an underwater city in the South Pacific. The imprisoned Cthulhu is apparently the source of constant anxiety for mankind at a subconscious level, and also the subject of worship by a number of human religions. The short story asserts the premise that while currently trapped, Cthulhu will eventually return. His worshippers chant in an ancient language I dare not try and reproduce, but roughly translated means, in his house at R'lyeh, dead Cthulhu waits, dreaming. Cthulhu is one of the old or ancient ones, one of the elder gods, those of cosmic good and those of cosmic evil. They bear many names and themselves, and are part of many different groups. and they are associated with the elements, yet transcending them. For there are water beings hidden in the depths, those of air that are primal lurkers beyond time, and those of earth, horrible, animate survivors of distant eons. Great Cthulhu is one of the water elementals, and was engaged in an age-old arch rivalry with a designated air elemental, Hastur the Unspeakable, described as Cthulhu's half-brother. You can see this influence permeating into works by Stephen King, especially in the story It, where, at the beginning of time before everything, Stephen King mentions there was a great turtle and it. These ideas have influenced many different kinds of fiction, and as I had mentioned earlier, are far beyond their time. It almost makes you wonder if H.P. Lovecraft knew something that we didn't know, as he appears to describe fourth-dimensional beings. I love the idea that a human being can witness something so far beyond our comprehension that it can drive you absolutely insane. One cannot deny the influence that H.P. Lovecraft has had on modern film and literature. I'm not sure if I've made what or who Cthulhu actually is any clearer, but I do highly recommend reading some of H.P. Lovecraft's works if you are at all a true horror fan. His descriptions of grey, slimy, worm-like beings that go bump in the night, and main characters that descend into madness, are among some of the best stories I've actually ever read. And as I've been saying throughout this video, many of our great authors, writers, directors wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for this fantastic author. So once again, I'd like to thank Luke Top Secret for such an amazing suggestion. And I do hope you like this picture, Luke. I'll leave a link to Luke's channel in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Kevin for The Art of Horror. Goodbye for now.